Let's ask the big question, Pau. It's FIFA actually losing control of his own tournament. What do you think? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of La Casa No Gana, where football, it's only half the story. Yes, because somehow this football cup keeps getting crazier every single day. Hi, Pau.
Hi, Fabi, and today's episode has a little bit of everything. We'll recap the biggest round of 16 games, talk about one of the most controversial tournaments FIFA has ever organized, and finish by previewing two absolutely massive quarterfinals. So, let's do it.
Exactly. Let's talk about the round of 16. Let's start with Colombia versus Ghana. Oh my God. Let's start with Colombia. Another professional performance. They control possession, defended well, and once again show why so many people, Pau, are calling them one of the most complete teams left in this tournament.
Yes, what impresses me the most is their maturity. They're not trying to entertain everyone, they are trying to win football matches. And that's exactly what championship teams do.
Exactly, they are balanced, organized, and incredibly dangerous on the counterattack. This team believed they can go all the way. Now, Argentina, Cabo Verde.
Yes, now let's talk about everyone's favorite Cinderella story, Cabo Verde. Nobody expected them to get this far. They became one of the biggest surprises of the tournament.
Yes, and although Argentina eventually advanced and Cabo Verde earned it a lot of respect, they defend bravely, play without any fear, and prove they belong on the biggest stage, Val.
Yes, Argentina moved on, but this wasn't nearly as comfortable as many people predicted.
Exactly. Now let's talk about Portugal and Croatia. Portugal survived, but wow, I mean, Croatia made them work for every single minute.
Yes, classic Croatia, discipline, experience, impossible to break down. Even after generation change, they somehow keep producing tournament football.
Portugal eventually showed it, but they know further tests are coming. Now, Spain, Austria, Paul.
Yes, Spain looked very Spain. Thousands of passes, complete control, patience.
Yes, Austria defended well for long stages, but eventually Spain possession became too much. Maybe they still aren't the most exciting team, but they're becoming one of the hardest team to beat. Let's start with the biggest headline of this week. Following Balogun received the straight red card against Bosnia. Simple, automatic suspension. End of the story. Or so everyone thought.
Yes, Fabi, except it wasn't. So, according to Reuters and the Associated Press, President Donald Trump personally contacted FIFA, President Gianni Infantino, asking for the suspension to be reviewed. So, not the US Soccer Federation, not the coaching staff, the president.
Oh my God. And then FIFA overturned the suspension under the Article 27 of the Disciplinary Code. Balogun became eligible to play against Belgium. Whether the decision was technical allowed isn't really the issue. The issue is perception, Paul.
Exactly, Fabi. If you're Belgium or Brazil or Argentina, you're probably asking, would our president get the same treatment? Once politics enters disciplinary decision, people immediately begin questioning fairness.
Yes, and that's why this became one of the biggest stories of the entire tournament. Oh my God. Now the bar, but even more bar, Paul?
Yes, then came the rule changes. This cup introduced one of the biggest officiating updates we've ever seen. VAR now reviews second yellow cards, so mistaken identity, disciplinary incidents before goals, plus new time wasting procedures.
I mean, Pau, on paper, most of these changes actually make sense. The problem, nobody seems to understand them. Not the players, not the coaches, sometimes not even the commentators.
Yes, every match felt like there was a new rule nobody had heard about before. So, and instead of people talking about football, they were talking about referee explanations. That's never a good sign.
Exactly. And have you noticed something else, Pau? Nobody is scared of penalties anymore.
Seriously, Germany goes out, the Netherlands go out, Australia loses one. Every knockout round seems to have another shutout.
Exactly. Managers aren't trying to avoid the penalties anymore. They are planning for them. They are saving substitutions, bringing on specialist goalkeepers. What? Bringing on penalty takers. Oh my God.
Yes,
Unbelievable.
football has basically become chess. Survive for 120 minutes. The hope your goalkeeper becomes a national hero.
Oh my God. What's crazy is the controversies start before a ball was even kicked.
Visa issues, Bobby. Travel delays. Supporters unsure whether they've been allowed into host countries. Delegations dealing with paperwork.
I mean, hosting a tournament across three countries was always going to be difficult, but it exposed just how complicated international logistics can become. Instead of discussing, for example, lineups, people were discussing immigration rules, Pau.
Yes.
Every football cup needs one giant upset. This one, Norway eliminating Brazil.
Yes, it hurts, and nobody expected. Brazil were one of the favorites. Norway came in as an underdog. Then suddenly, Brazil are packing their bags.
That's why knockout football is so brutal. 90 minutes, Pau. One mistake and everything you built over 4 years disappear.
Yes. And now, one thing we've learned football never exists in a vacuum. Immigration, security, government involvement, diplomatic discussions, and they've all become part of the tournament.
Normally, we said keep politics out of sports, but the reality is hosting the biggest sporting event on earth makes that almost impossible, Pau. This football cup has proven that once politics entered the conversation, it is impossible to ignore. Now, let's ask the big question, Pau. It's FIFA actually losing control of his own tournament. What do you think?
Oh my God, that's a huge question because when you combine everything, the Balogun controversy, the constant referee debates, the confusing rule changes, political pressure, appeals from federations, it starts creating a perception problem. That's the truth.
Yes, and maybe every individual decision can be explained, but together they've made fans wonder whether the rules are being applied equally. And that's dangerous because truth is much harder to recover than a bad referee decision. Now let's talk about the quarterfinal preview, Pau. France versus Morocco. Before we go, let's look ahead. France versus Morocco. What a matchup. Oh my God.
Yes, my favorite, France, obviously, and France probably has the most talented squad remaining. But Morocco has become one of those teams nobody wants to play. Compact defensively, physically strong, and so dangerous on the break.
Yes, if France scores early, this could become comfortable. But if Morocco survives the first hour, this could get very interesting, Pau.
Yes, I'm completely agree. And now let's talk about Norway versus England. I'm so sad about England, but okay, it's okay. Bye bye Mexico. Now
Oh my
England.
God.
This might actually be my favorite game of the quarterfinals, Fabi. Norway has already shocked Brazil. Now they get England.
England always arrives carrying enormous expectations, and Norway's arrive carrying absolutely no pressure, and sometimes that's the most dangerous thing.
Yes, and if Haaland gets space, England could be in serious trouble. But if England controls possessions and keeps Norway from running in transition, their individual qualities should see them through.
Yes, either way, this has upset writing all over it.
Yes, so this football cup keeps providing one thing. You never know what's coming next.
We had giant upsets, political controversial, rule changes, penalty drama, and now the quarterfinals are here. And if the round of 16 was this crazy, imagine what's still to come.
Yes, so don't forget, please, to subscribe, follow the show, and let us know what's been the biggest surprise of this cup so far.
Yes, so remember becoming part of this community. Register in casino.gambyl.com. We are waiting for you on Instagram, TikTok, Discord, everywhere. Well, see you next week on La Casa No Gana.
See you next time.
Bye.